What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hopefully, my audio is right. I want to make sure it's as good as possible. Hopefully, we loud and clear. Clear is the key word, not just loud, but also loud and clear. What's up, friends and family? How y'all feeling? What's going on? Bless up, blessings, blessings, bless up. What up, what up, what up? Hopefully, the audio is right the way it's supposed to be. Audio is good. We good. Get to see me one more time inside of it. Yo. John Seal says, "What's good? How are things?" I don't think that people care about what I got going on. Honestly, I'm keeping it 100 with you. I don't think that people care about what I got going on at all. White collar time is coming back tomorrow. Listen, since 6 o'clock in this morning, since 6 o'clock this morning, I've been working on um everything inside of the room. The goal was to start the live stream at about 9 o'clock this morning, a.m. Eastern, and to do my first 4-hour live stream on the Millionaire Morning Show. Obviously, we know that that's not going to go on because everything is not perfect. When you get more complicated software, when you integrate new stuff, new microphones, new settings, trying to get stuff set up, it's like you almost got to take like 3 days to just like get everything perfect because it has to be produced the right way. So it's almost like rather than just winging it and working through it, I'd rather keep testing and making sure everything right, and so we can get it right. So the goal is to get it popping by tomorrow. And it's very aggravating for me because I feel like it's hindering the growth of what I got going on. So I got new stuff that I want to implement, new goals. And then once I roll it out to the Millionaire Morning Show, I want to roll it out to after hours, and I want to start using it for that platform. So if I can get it popping tomorrow, then that means that I can get it popping tomorrow night for the new platform, and then we can get it popping. You know what I'm saying? So we working through it, man. We working through it. It is aggravating sometimes, And I think the biggest aggravation is not even the technical difficulties because that's normal. But I think that the biggest aggravation sometimes is your social life. Y'all want to know the truth or no? Here's the truth. Here's the cold, hard facts, right? I went to my daughter's graduation yesterday, and it was probably one of the most emotional times that I've ever had in my entire life. The entire time, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but for the entire time, I was actually holding back tears as I seen her walk across the stage, as we took pictures, as she hugged me, and we talked and all of that. And so I spent the entire day, really the entire weekend, focusing on her. And it was just like so impactful. It was so emotional because it takes everything in you to put everything you can inside of your kid to ensure that they're successful. We escaped with no pregnancies, no sex, no problems, no crash outs, no arrests, no boys, not focusing on none of that type of stuff, no nothing, right? And so I consider the first half of my life to be a success because I put everything I could into the people that I care about. To be honest with y'all, I don't even know how people that have children raise them in single parent households. It blows my mind. It takes everything, and I ain't even just talking about just me and her mother. I'm talking about community, her coaches, taekwondos, all of that type of stuff. I don't know how people are able to just go to work and let kids raise themselves. That don't make no sense to me. After the kids grow up and they big and stuff, and then I got to go to her college orientation this week. So I'm gonna be there, right? I don't know how y'all do it. I'm genuinely curious. People that have children and you raise them as a single parent, whether you wanted to or you don't want it to, whether you voluntarily left your situation or your situation left you, however it is. And I'm not having a conversation based off of man versus woman demographics. I'm talking about parents, right? Parents, how do y'all do it? How do y'all raise a child in a single parent household? It seems impossible. I don't know what y'all think that y'all kids is going to turn out like. And of course, they're going to have their own autonomy as they get older, right? They're going to have to make a decision for themselves. But as far as the foundation of what you put in them, how do y'all do that? How? I don't get it. I don't get it. I had one kid and I put everything I could into that kid. Everything I could, every dime, every effort, working from home, going to every competition, nearly every competition. And the ones that I couldn't go to, her mom was still there, right? Traveling, taking her to see the world, putting money into her, tutors, tutoring myself, having conversations, praying over her every single night, all the way up until the time that she was probably like 16, 17 years old. Every single night, taking her olive oil, anointing her, praying over her, all of these things, right? And it's like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get how people are able to do it without two parents. I don't get it. I ain't even talking about the money. I'm just talking about the effort that it takes to pour into a kid. Pine for Pine says, "Oh Lord, I'm late. I'm walking in on a trauma session." How is it a trauma session? It's a celebration. Y'all look at raising a kid as a trauma session too? Wow. Okay. I didn't know that was a trauma session, but I see how y'all I can see how people are automatically looking for trauma, I guess. Um with that being said, let me also say this part, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into the show. In order to also be successful as a man, I'm gonna just speaking about it as a man in general, well, I'm not going to speak about it just as a man, just in general. Do you know why it's not a lot of female content creators on YouTube? Do you know why there is a shortage of female content? And when I say female content creators, I'm not talking about content creators that got a YouTube channel or a live stream from occasion to occasion. I'm talking about successful, 500,000, million subscriber, 100,000, even get up to, whatever, 50,000 or whatever. You know why it's such a shortage of female content creators? Because you got to have that dog in you. Anybody can get it on TikTok. Anybody can get it on Instagram. Pick up your phone and just start talking. Man, the level of effort that it takes to continue to evolve and excel and be consistent at the same time and be successful when it comes to content creation, you're very rarely going to find a female that's at it, that's getting it. And they out there. It's a couple of them out there, but you got to have that dog in you. And the reason that I say that is because as I continue to be successful, have a challenge with my social life. I slept all May. I caught up on sleep. I was social. I bought a Lamborghini. I had a good time. I partied with people. I traveled. I went to 2 different countries and a couple other cities. I did all of that stuff. And let me tell you, it weighed on me. It weighed on me the entire time, because whereas women do this type of stuff all the time and they travel and they have a good time and they sleeping in and they getting 6-7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, it takes more than that. It takes more than that to be successful. Most women that are successful in the content world are usually having stuff done for them. They have somebody backing them. They got somebody producing them. They got somebody pushing them. They got somebody doing all of that, bro. All of that. It's very rare that you see a woman that's doing it all by herself. Even women that seem like they're doing it by themselves, they got a husband, they got backing, they got all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, 100%. Let me read some of these super chats. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Let's see. Shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down on Cash App. Thank you, my friend. Let's say Coach Chris says, AD, have you ever had a manager who really got on your nerves? How did you address that with him or her in a respectful, professional manner? Yes. One of the managers that wound up being the most transformational in my life was one that I was clashing with. And what I realized, and I told this story multiple times, but I'm going to give it to you from this lens. What I realized is that it wasn't him, it was me. It's not always the manager. Sometimes it's you. The first thing that you have to do when you clashing with somebody or you having a problem with leadership is you got to go to the drawing board and figure out, what am I doing wrong and why are they not receptive to me? Maybe you the problem. And what I realized was that I was the problem. And the minute that I changed the way that I look at things, I started getting the biggest results, and he helped me get promoted, and he helped me get to the highest level possible. So if you're saying somebody is getting on your nerves, then that's a you problem. That's not a them problem. The first thing that you have to do is check yourself and look in the mirror before you start addressing what somebody else is saying. That's how I deal with that. He also says, in your opinion, what's the difference between being burnt out from your job and wanting something different and not appreciating the job you have? I think you're looking at it wrong. You looking at the job. So many people look at the job as a part of their identity. And so they get caught up in what's going on at the job. And so they say that they get burnt out. I don't look at it. I never looked at a job that way. I looked at a job as a way for me to make money. And so I never got burnt out at making money. And then the thing that I was building differently, because you said that I want something different, then what you doing after you get off of work? What are you doing after you get off of work? What you think is going to fall in your lap? If you want something different, build it. If you want something different, go to school for it. If you want something different, go and get a different profession. If you want something different, go and take classes part-time. If you want something different, go and work on your own business. I don't get burnt out because I don't get tired of making money. I never got burnt out, ever. Never got burnt out at a job at all. Because I never missed a paycheck. I never worked at a job where they said, well, your paycheck ain't coming on Friday. That's the only time I would get burnt out. Oh, man, I'm working for free over here. I don't believe men, unless you're working in the oil fields or you a lineman or you're a firefighter fighting in the Palisades or something. You mean you got a regular job and you burnt out? Burnt out on what? That means that you got lifestyle problems. Is something else happening outside of the job that's influencing your ability to do your job effectively? Go and get your money and stop worrying about what everybody else is talking about. Chris Cunningham says, 80, let's just start the day off with the song Spinning. No, I'm not doing that. Shout out to Carisha, though. Neem says, what happened to Stock Club? Oh, we doing that tonight. I changed it, too. I had to go to a graduation yesterday. And so I spent the whole weekend with my daughter, but we got Stock Club tonight. But I think it's going to be different than what y'all think. It might be a little bit different than y'all think. Everybody is anticipating these upcoming IPOs. I did a lot of research since I had some time on my hand this weekend, sitting and taking her to go and get her clothes and sitting at graduation and stuff. Let me tell you something, bro. The Stock Club tonight, I'm going to tell you why you should not invest in the StockX IPO. I know that that's not the popular thing to say, but I have to be responsible to my people, and I have to give them the insight on why. The reason why I have never missed, the reason why we are successful in the Patreon and the Bag Chasers, and this is going to happen at I think at 8:30 tonight. Between 8:30 to 9, we got Stock Club tonight. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The reason why you have never seen anybody, not one person in the entire time that I have been on the internet ever say Anton lost me money. Y'all ever heard of Bigger Pockets? Y'all seen what's happening in the real estate space? I study and I pay attention to everything. Guess what none of my bag chasers are saying? Oh, we lost money on real estate. Guess what they doing over there on Bigger Pockets and all of this stuff? Oh man, we just lost $15 million of investors' money. If anybody is paying attention to what's happening in the real estate space, it's the same thing that's happening in the trucking space. And I told y'all that it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. I said, listen, over time, you're going to see the difference between those that's getting it and those that don't. And I don't care how big their podcast is. I don't care how many courses they sell. I don't care how smart you think that they are. The reason why I am better than everybody else is not that I make more money initially than everybody else, but we play this long term. We playing long term. So it may seem popular to do it that way, but they always crash. They always fail because this BRRRR method that they're trying to implement, right? Especially with this creative financing that they're doing, it's going to have you crashing out. The stock market and the real estate market has been very forgiving. This week is going to be incredible because I'm doing a block club, I'm doing a stock club, and I'm going to do a creators content. And we're going to blow the lid off of all of this stuff. We're going to address all of this stuff that's happening in the industry. Tonight, we have Stock Club. And I am going to explain to you from a C student's perspective why I am not investing in SpaceX. They are anticipating that it's going to be one of the most valuable IPOs ever. I don't believe in it the same way that the world do. I don't. So if y'all want to get some real insight and you want to learn how to build your portfolio the right way without worrying about losing a bunch of money or taking a huge risks, Come and tap into the Patreon tonight. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. As a matter of fact, the best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. All right. Somebody said, "What watch is that, AD?" It's a Apple Watch Ultra. I think I left my Rolex at the recall too. Let me see this. I don't even know where I left my watch, to be honest with you. Hey baby, I think I left my Rolex there. And so if you see it, it might be either in the bedroom or downstairs on the counter. If you see it, just put it up for me, all right? All right, baby. Shout out to Niem. So we doing it tonight. AD, allegedly, I got a young lady who I've been interested in for 2 years, who I'm now aligned with. Give me some advice on how to not mess it up. Coach Chris, you got a lot going on, bro. You can't focus on, you can't serve 3 and 4 different masters. You can't serve 3 and 4 different masters and think that you're going to be successful. You're going to have to pick one. You got to pick one. What do you mean not mess it up? So you mean you're going to be doing stuff in order to try to impress her? You need to just be you and focus on what you got going on. And if she like you enough, then she going to come and hang out with you. And whatever it is that you got going on, bro. You do, bro. You got a lot going on. That's why your life is so messed up. That's why you keep talking about being burnt out. And then you try not to mess up a relationship. And then you unsatisfied with your job. And then you got this going on. You got that going on. Honest to God, bro. You got you got all kind of problems. And that's you ain't solved for none of them. That's why you so messed up. Oh, I got a girl that I'm trying not to mess it up with. Oh, I don't like my job. Oh, I'm feeling burnt out over here. What am I thinking about? My supervisors are, you need to clear the books, fix you before you start getting into a conversation or a relationship with a bunch of other people. Get yourself together at your job. Start focusing on your finances. Focusing on the thing that's going to best help you. Stop worrying about women. Stop worrying about all of these different things, bro. Talking about allegedly. No, that's real life. AP, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm sorry. AP says, "Hey, Anton, I saw your wife at a tropical smoothie in a town 40 minutes away from Philly. She was incredible, bag chaser for life." Yeah, she, good thing she ain't still in Philly. Jesus. Her and my daughter was out there for a competition. They were out there for a competition for my daughter last week. So I'm glad. See, this is important. It's important that your girl is a representation with you, is a representation of you, even when she's out. See, you're not gonna catch my girl at some crazy spot. You're gonna catch her at the tropical smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. All right, y'all. What else is going on in these streets? Yeah, man, you got to let these chicks go, Chris. Let these chicks go, man. You got to get your life together, bro. You so focused on things that don't even matter, bro. Seriously. You seriously might be talking about stuff that don't even matter, fam. You're doing a lot. You're doing too much. I'm going to start off a little spicy. I'm going to start off a little spicy today. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. I see some of y'all talking about Mr. Lot in the building with the bag. I see some of y'all talking about the Spurs is going to win it all. I'm banking on the Knicks. I'm picking the Knicks. I know it might come back to bite me. I might sit here and kick myself in the nuts as a result of it, but I'm picking the Knicks. I'm going with the Knicks. I'm going Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6. I might actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go and put what's the bet? What's the spread on the Knicks? For series. Spread on the Knicks for the series. Spurs are minus 205 favorites to win the final series, while the Knicks are 170 plus 170 underdogs. Oh. I might wait though. The reason why I might wait is because maybe I won't wait. If the Spurs win game 1, the Knicks are going to be even more the Spurs are going to be even more heavily favored, which is then where I want to place my bet. Because if the Knicks is going to win it, then they definitely going to get it. I'll just wait. I got some money to play with. I'm still up this playoffs a lot, and so I got some money to play with. I got some money to play with, so I'm gonna wait. Let me see. ESPN. First game is Wednesday. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. All right, we'll talk about it later. All right, we'll maybe talk about it on Tuesday night, because I know Slimmy and them. Quinn, he might be feeling some type of way right now, but we might talk about that Tuesday night. I'm gonna start off spicy though on the show today. All right, and the reason that I say I'm gonna start off spicy is because a video allegedly leaked, and the reason that I say allegedly, because I know that the video leaked. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lotta. I appreciate you, big dog. Leaked of Diddy. And they say on X, formerly known as Twitter, that it is out there. And they say that they got the whole thing. So the first question that I want to ask y'all is, who's seen the video? And don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me. Who's seen the video? So a lot of y'all gonna act like y'all ain't seen the video. Some of y'all is going to look it up right now. Who's seen the video? Who's seen the Diddy video? You seen it last night, the genius? What else here? You watching it right now, Chad? Can't lose. Oh, man. What video of what? All right, so let me play this and then we'll give you some insight.
They done dropped the footage of 50 Cent girl participating in a Diddy party with Diddy, bro. They done dropped the whole 39-minute video. Bro, it's crazy, dog. Mind you, with a random man that they found off the street. Now I see why 50 Cent hate him. He had your girl doing that? And what make it worse, the rumors are true. Bro really would sit in the corner and just watch. And now the girls on social media clowning him, saying that they understand why. They saying it's because bruh suffer from micro, you feel me? It all makes sense now. Bro was obsessed with sitting in the chair because he actually can't participate. Literally. Women online are saying that any girl that's been with him, they can't look at them the same. I agree. Bruh, this just proves to you just need money. You get whatever you want for real. This man literally had to hire other men to fulfill something he could not fulfill. Young Miami. Is this what you was talking about? Man, they don't.
So that is what's happening. All right. Oh. Oh man. Oh dog. Man, oh man, oh man. That is what the streets is saying. They're saying that the tapes leaked. They said it's got it. No, it's not AI. It's not AI. It's not. I know a lot of y'all is out there trying to figure it out right now. And no, they saying it's on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's what they saying. They saying it's on X. You know, Twitter ain't the same as the Twitter. Like it's Twitter. You don't even need the dark web no more. All you gotta do is go to Twitter, and you can figure out and find everything that's out there in the streets. Honest to God, bro. Real talk. So I have not seen the video. I have not seen the tapes, but there are multiple different people speaking on it. And they saying that it's crazy.
This is something I never thought I would have to say, but the Diddy tapes have been leaked on the internet. Video is currently going viral, and pictures of Diddy himself being screenshotted from the video because he has a small you-know-what. And this video was with 50 Cent's baby mom. 50 Cent has posted about this twice, saying that she is not a victim and saying, can you imagine that their son going to 8th grade to find out that this is your mom basically on this video? That the court system in LA thinks it's fine. He posted again, free Diddy, he's gone through enough, being that he has no LOL. This video going around is something we actually heard about in court. This was the video that was recorded on one of the male escorts' phone named Sly. It's of course Diddy, Daphne Joy, and this Sly person. And he said he's had this video. And if you remember during the Diddy trial, it was brought up that Sly allegedly threatened to release it. Don't know who released it now, but I'm telling you right now, whoever released this video, Diddy is about to sue the out of you. Not gonna lie, the biggest question I have is how it got from this male worker's phone to anybody else. So there is a huge possibility that he could be the one having liability for this. But I'm gonna be so for real. After seeing these screenshots, one thing I didn't want to see is Diddy's you-know-what. And I think I'm scarred for life. I guess this validated some of the rumors that we were hearing back then about Diddy. And after all of this is going so viral and it's all over the internet, it's something that will live forever. So I totally understand why 50 Cent is so upset about this, especially because his son. Before y'all ask, no, I did not watch the video, but I have seen it circulating and it's about 30 minutes long. I have read some descriptions of it and apparently it's very boring. Nothing really happens. There's no violence or anything in this film. But now Diddy's little Wang is going to be on the internet forever.
Here's my thing that I'm trying to figure out about this whole situation, right? What was they going after Diddy again about? Why was they after Diddy again? Honestly, and it's a real question, and I'm looking for real answers. What is it that they were going after Diddy for again? Why was he being convicted? No, I know what the charges were. I'm trying to figure out what the motivation was, is what I'm saying. And I'm not, listen. Onaka, what I'm not gonna do in this conversation is talk about his thing, because I don't really care about that. That's not my goal, and that's not my goal in this conversation. I'm not interested in what his wang was. That has no impact on Naka and anything that we talking about right now. What I'm trying to understand is, first of all, y'all better stop recording yourselves. All right? There's nothing good that can come out of recording yourself. Well, we've had our phase of what we thought was cool. I know the meta glasses is up. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody giving somebody a fade on Instagram with meta glasses on. I said, wow, this is better than GTA. And so whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that y'all better stop recording yourselves. They got leaked footage, leaked tape, all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And let me look at y'all. Y'all still talking about his wood. Why y'all talking about his wood? His wood don't have nothing to do with this conversation. Let me say this though. Let me say this, and I've said this a lot of times, and well, maybe not a lot of times, but I do think it's interesting that I would rather be short and normal than tall and short. You know what I'm saying? Because you trust me. If you are under 6 feet, but you slanging, you winning. You're winning in every aspect in life. The worst fear that I would have as a man is if I was 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", and I got to figure out life for the rest of my life. If you're under 6 feet, but you're average or above, anywhere average, above average, everything is accentuated. Everything is elevated. Everything is Now, what I will say for guys, this is the comedy part of the show. I didn't know I was gonna be cracking up this hard. Shout out to the Mushroom Kings. What I will say though, as regular everyday people, all right, if you are, stop caring, just go get yours, bro. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if you work with whatever God gave you. You just can't talk junk about it. You just can't go over there. You can't, just don't promise something that you can't deliver on. You know what I'm saying? Just don't promise something that you can't deliver. Like you can't, just don't talk about it on it. And it don't talk about it to the girl that you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring up something like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tear that out the frame. Just don't say nothing. Just live and let live. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Go get yours. Go get it. She'll be all right. She'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Just don't talk too much about it, and you'll be good. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think that anybody should be talking about it, because even if you are a mushroom king, then you just got to be a nice surprise. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Just be a surprise. You know what I'm saying? You know what the funniest part about this whole story is, to be honest with you, Tabby? The funniest part about this story is now we know why 50 did the documentary, yo. Now we know. Yeah, Will. Now we know why 50 is so bitter. We keep trying to make it seem like, nah, 50 is objective. Nah, 50 is this. Nah. 50 is mad because of the baby mama. And I said this a long time ago. And y'all tried to make it seem like, oh, no, Anton, you wrong. Oh no, Anton, no, he just really won't. He don't like that what Diddy represent. No, he don't like the fact that his baby mama was out there. Real talk. I'm keeping it 100. Somebody said it in the chat. They said this is more embarrassing for 50 than this is for Diddy. If I was Diddy, I just wouldn't care. If I was Diddy, I would be like, well, skip it. You know, the truth is out there now. Still got to get it popping. Still got to do what you got to do. And you know what else? And let me throw another caveat in here, and we're gonna move over to Jay-Z next. I'm trying so hard not to crack up. You know what the funniest thing is about life? And then this is for the ladies right here. This is a concern that y'all will never ever have to worry about, right? If you a woman and you bad built, that's a choice. That's a choice. Guys are just whatever it is that God gave them, that's what they got to work with. It doesn't matter if a woman is tall, if she's short. It don't matter if she black or she white. You could literally pretty much fix anything. For men, we are whatever we are, and so we just got to figure out life. Either you blessed or you not. Somebody said you can buy D, though. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And what man would want to do that and mess up what works? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you break something? Guys, for the most part, they are whatever they are. If a woman is messed up, you should be able to shame her more than the guy that's messed up, because a guy has uncontrollables and a woman has controllables. You should be able to shame a woman more that don't have herself together because the guy can't control. He can't control whatever his circumstance is. Said you can't break something that's broken. Yeah, ain't nobody about to go through that. Side effects. Now your junk don't ever work again. Just take me out right now then, buddy. And for all of the ladies, let me tell you this. I'm not the ladies. For all of the fellas, stop letting these women tell you that it matters. Did you get it? Did you hit? Did you hit? Then that's all that matters, bro. Stop, man. Work with what you got to work with. Do what you got to do. Control the controllables. Diddy went 30, 40 years without nobody ever knowing until they leaked the tapes. Don't lie to them. What am I lying about? What am I lying about? What am I lying? Listen, let me tell you something, Angie. Let me tell you something. Most women, and this is now, all right, well, we want to get down there. Well, let's go to all the way to take it all the way to the bottom then, since we're gonna get there. Y'all can't handle all of that. Listen, bro, listen. This is what I know for sure. One thing is for certain, and two things is for sure. They ain't built like that, bro. Most women are not built for everything that you think that they built for. I promise you they not built for that. They not built for that, bro. Once you get into a certain position, they done. It's over. You got to be gentle. You got to be nice. You got to be all extra soft and caring and very, all of that stuff. They think that, man, sitting here lying, letting these porn stars and stuff tell y'all that y'all need 10 and man, they can't take all of that. I promise you. I promise you they back it up before you get all the way through it. So stop letting them shame y'all into thinking that it's more than what it is. Stop letting them shame y'all before they let. And I've been on this earth for a long time. I'll tell you the truth. I'll never tell you a lie. You may not agree with me, but it ain't gonna be a lie. It ain't gonna be a lie. They cannot handle all of that. They overly lying, talking about they want all of this, and they not. They not built like that. So don't think that you got to do all of that. It don't take all that, bro. It don't take all of that. Especially if it's been a minute. Like, let's say it's been like a couple weeks. She done. She out. She done. Unless she on coke or something like that. And she got a upper. She not built like that. I promise you she not. I get it, Ange. Y'all don't want no micro. So maybe it's a fix for that. I don't know if it's a fix for that. I've never researched it. I'm not about to go and watch the Diddy stuff, but I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny though. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. What a way to start Monday, right? On the first day of the month. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. We got a live stream tonight. And for those of y'all that's just getting here, I am going to explain to you why I am telling my people. I don't know what the other content creators on the internet is saying. I don't know what anybody else is saying. I am going to be explaining to you why I am not investing in a SpaceX IPO. I don't care what it does. I don't care what it does on drop. I think it is going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad long term for not only that, I'm going to tell you what the difference is between SpaceX and Tesla. And it's not much of a difference, but we're going to get there. We're doing a live stream tonight on Patreon, Stock Club. And then we're going to get it popping. All right. We literally dropping every single day this week on Patreon. So if y'all not on Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The best day to join Patreon is the beginning of the month. All right. Jay-Z did the Roots picnic. Everybody was telling me, Anton, pull up to the Roots picnic. When I realized that my daughter's graduation was this weekend. It was nothing. I'm not going to a Jay-Z hookup over my daughter's graduation. You can forget it, big dog. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to a Roots picnic over my daughter's graduation. All right. So let me see if I can find this Jay-Z. Was a lot going on. I got the synopsis from it. Of course, I was looking at things and I was paying attention to what was happening out in these streets. Do we got it up? All right, hold on. I'll pull it up for y'all. I gotta switch my Hey, we crossed 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube. Yo, I didn't even realize that. Hold on. We crossed 1.4? I'm shooting for 2 million. I'm shooting for 2 million by the end of the year. Skip it. I'm shooting for 2 million by the end of the year. Why you ain't tell me we crossed 1.4? Oh, I'm sorry. I switched the account. Yo, first of all, I want to say shout out to the Bag Chasers. We crossed 1 billion views the other day. And now we've crossed 1.4 million subscribers. As you can see right here in the last 28 days, we did 53 million views. And that was a sleepy month. May, we took May off. We didn't even push in May. We didn't push at all, bro. We was slow motion. We was sleepwalking. I slept walk through May. So shout out to all of the chasers. Shout out to the Patreon members. I do have a content creators live stream coming up If I get 2 million by the end of the year, I'll get the Rolls Royce. I'll get a Rolls Royce. I got a content creators Patreon live stream this week. Also, I got a block club. Also, so we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do this week. All right. Shout out to the bag chasers again. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I'm gonna teach y'all everything I know. I'm gonna do push for 2 million by the end of the year. I've been sleepwalking, bro. I ain't been doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm gonna push. I really am gonna push by the end of the year. All right. What was we talking about? Jay-Z. I'm so talking about. All right, let's get to this Jay-Z freestyle. You think it's crazy? Well, let me read some of the super chats and then we're going to get into it. Spurs and 5 like 1999. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet all day long. Somebody, you know what's so funny about these subscribers? Somebody told me, somebody said, I was listening, somebody sent me a video and they said, what do Anton know? Anton don't know nothing but, bro, I don't really know if y'all know, and listen, you got to be objective enough to be able to separate yourself. And that's why you should join a Patreon, because there is nobody that is messing with me. Nobody. In our spaces, in these spaces, I am Mr. Miyagi. I am Yoda. I'm Yoda. Anton is Yoda. I'm Yoda. I am Yoda of these spaces. I'm Yoda. Like, again, and I know y'all want me to be humble and all of this stuff, but humble to who? I am Yoda. Like, I'm him. I'm top dog. Numero uno. Solo act. No help. No platform. No backing. No underdog. No T-Boost, T-Mobile. No Live Nation. No nothing. It's just me. I'm a one-man band. It's me by myself in here. I don't need no help from nobody. I'm bigger than your favorite comedians. I'm bigger than your favorite, all of that. When it comes to content creation, when it comes to this, nobody is messing with me in these spaces. I'm top dog. I'm top dog. Eric Harris says Cat will be the reason the Knicks win because he had to defend that 8-foot alien. I don't think the alien is the thing that we need to worry about. I think Mike Brown got them figured out. 392Q says Spurs just beat OKC, the number one team in the NBA. Knicks haven't had any real competition in the East. We'll see. Who want to bet? My dog Spacer says just dropped a huge amount to pay off a credit card. It feels like getting a cramp on your last few reps while working out. It's only up from here. Yeah, you there though. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says ticket prices $4K just to get in the door. TS Car Wash says 50 Cent hot. You saw what he posted? No, I ain't see what he posted. Bam Bam Lee says that video with Meek was definitely AI. Saturday Night Beaters. I just realized what he said. Because when he was supposedly screaming, come on, man. Saturday Night Beater says I went from lukewarm to hot. Billy Ray, what up, Billy Ray says good morning, King. Need your size and mailing Addy. I got you. That should be in the description. Large. This is no Diddy. There's no Diddy camps over here. Large. Hold on. Let me see what's happening. Give me a second. I used to do these weight loss videos. I used to do these weight loss. Y'all want to see my Johnson? I could show y'all. I could show y'all my Johnson if y'all want to see my Johnson. I don't know if it'll be appropriate for YouTube. Let's see. One thing I won't do. I'm not gonna show y'all my Johnson. Don't worry about it. I'm not. And let me tell you something. You can tell when somebody has got a real video or if it's a fake video. Real talk. Large Billy Ray Valentine, and my mailing address is in the description. All right. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says $100K for floor seats for the finals. That's crazy. What kind of money they working with? TS Car Wash and Detail Services had to be at the picnic, was legendary reunited. We about to go over it right now. Don't be tall and short at the same time is what I'm saying. Wesley Turner says don't be 6'2" and have a gut on top. Ooh, and on top of that, TS Car Wash and Detail Service says you see Nightcap be having 20 to 30K each live. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. 400K followers in a half a year is crazy, says Wesley Turner. We can do it. I think we can do it. If we push, we can do it. Vito Royale says, seems like yesterday you jumped over a milli. Work that shows results. Congratulations. Thank you. Lady, what up, Lady K-Lo? Lady K-Lo in the building says, I agree with you, King. 2 million by year's end. Shalom and blessings. Facts. ABJ's Wise says, starting a new project with a company today, a 2-week trial period underway. Always good to know the right people at the right time. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. That's smart. All right, y'all. Let's see this Jay-Z whole situation. Let me see. Jay-Z.
Patty's turning 100. If she would have transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them. Every one of them playing these silly games. That 1-800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came. But 911 is a joke. Public enemy #1 I've been ranked. The rock's not crumbling. The leprechauns have magically run out of pranks. Your son on a federal jail line mumbling something about having too much of this drink. You know how dumb that is? Another one fumbled his, wonder how I get the blame. Niggas' teeth is tumbling out their mouth and somehow I'm the one who done it. It's a murder mystery game.
You know, the thing about this whole, I ain't even gonna say about the freestyle itself, but the thing about Jay is it's funny how everybody is criticizing Jay when Jay is really just responding. He been quiet the whole time. And I don't understand, like, whether you like Jay or whether you don't like Jay, what I've realized about people in general is that they have an inability to be objective. They don't. They're not objective. So they can't say, yeah, you know, I get it. He responding, or I get it, or whatever, so on and so forth. Of course, Jay is gearing up to drop a new album. But now they want to say, oh, man, why is he saying anything about Dame? Dame been talking about Jay for the last 20 years. I don't think that we've ever seen an interview where Dame did not at some point give his input or his insight on Jay. And so now Jay is like, listen, we all offense because offense is the best defense. And so now that he's responding to people and he's having a conversation, people want to act like you don't have a right to respond. You don't have a right to defend yourself. So because you are the person that financially or successfully has been at the top of the totem pole, you're not supposed to say anything anymore. I'm not really a fan of the afro, but listen, do your thing, King.
With you pumpkins, I'm the one who strummed the pain. That hill you can die on. There's way too much flack that comes from those planes. I'm killing them softly. What's understood don't need to be explained. You want it one way, it's the other. I still on you suckers, I'm all of you niggas gang. I ain't much for me, it's know how. Cancel the brunches, I remember the hunger pain. The price of the bricks going up. It's gonna cost you a fee to even say my name. You ever heard of a Wonder King? My children and some of them. Have you niggas no shame? Y'all trying to get under skin? I really get under skin as unharmed player. Y'all thugs with y'all thugs again. Everybody think they're the ones insane. You're no maniac. Watch how saniac in my presence, nigga, shrink. I need a new therapist. This shit is not working. I'm truly on the brink. Y'all better not encourage him. Y'all don't want me to think these thoughts that I think. That nut ass nigga still stuttering. That chatty patty down on his luck again. Plus introducing me to Jaguar. I don't know why I still fuck with him. You just wonder why I do the freestyle rehearsals. That lady back on the stuff, she sound like she in love with him. Her kid.
He talking about everybody. Nicki Minaj, Jaguar Wright, Dame Dash. He responding to Drake.
Enough for them. A rapper can't be my eye. I got MAGA Republicans. Them shots came from the very top of the government. Good luck with them. I'm governed by God. You try to break the government. I prayed for 40 days. My neck get flooded again. Wrist get flooded again. My net worth went up again. My next update, the jig is up. Nigga, I'm up 10. Wrong chart, champ. You gotta look up again. Niggas look up the Hove. I never looked up to them. The crackers got your publishing gangster. Go talk tough to them. Don't talk success to me. You niggas is workers. In perpetuities, how your contract is worded. Don't make me go fuck, man. The roots remember, even when the trees pretend, not too much of my name. Don't forget who I am. Hattie loves her Shawnees. S-H-A-W-N. I find it adorable she put the S at the end. You don't know, the show ain't even begin. I said, you don't know, the show ain't even begin.
I think that the Yankee Stadium concert is gonna be pretty crazy. I think the Yankee Stadium concert is gonna be pretty crazy. I will say this though. I don't think that rap and battling has anything to do with lyrics or any of that anymore. I don't think it ever did, to be honest with you. I don't think it ever did. I don't think that him responding any of this type, I don't think it has anything to do with it. If you look at the sentiment of what's happening over the internet as far as how people feel about this, how people feel about Drake, how people feel about any of this type of stuff, it's based off of who they like and it's based off of popularity. It's based off of who they like and it's based off of popularity. If we learned anything during the Kendrick battle with Drake, it's whoever it is that people like at the time and whoever is the hottest at the time is the person that's going to get the benefit of the doubt. I did. I enjoyed the freestyle. I think it was a light tap. I don't think it was meant to be super crazy. I just think that he in less than 3 minutes addressed all of the things that people were saying about him over the last 10 years. I don't think that you're going to get the real until he drops an album. I think that his album is going to be the work where he actually really, really addresses all of the things in depth. I listened to Iceman. Oh man, I ain't even been able to get to Habibi or the other joint. I just been listening to Iceman. That whole Iceman album is a diss. The whole Iceman album, when you listen to it from front to back, is a diss record. It's Drake literally addressing every single thing that he feels about everybody Whether you was close to him, whether you wasn't close to him, he addressed the fans, he addressed Kendrick, he addressed everybody. The whole Iceman album, when you listen to it from front to back, is a diss album. The whole album is a diss album. The whole thing. A$AP Rocky, J. Cole, Jay-Z. And so when I was listening to it, and I was just like, dang, this album is slapping. This album is slapping. So I don't know, man. I like it. I like when my OGs pop out. I like it when they rap. I like the fact that there's still that you can tell Jay still got a competitive edge with him. I like the fact that, you know, he talked about it at the Roots picnic. And I think that this is a way for him to get the dust off and for him to start gearing up. I think that the Roots picnic was actually the crash course for what he really gonna do at Yankee Stadium. This was a way for him to get back on stage, dust it off, give a little 3-minute address, send some warning shots, and to generate some revenue and some publicity for what he about to drop as far as an album. Javon says Drake's Iceman album was still trash. The production was trash. You're smoking crack. You're smoking crack. Anybody that sits here after 2 weeks and tells me that the Iceman album is trash has no musical understanding whatsoever. I am convinced that anybody that tells me that the Iceman album was trash, anything about the production, anything about the lyrics, anything about you have no music understanding, or you just a huge Kendrick fan, which means that I have to be careful around you because you might rob me. I think that the Iceman album, and I was early last time, and I'm gonna be early again. I think that this is Drake's best work. I think that this is better than If You Reading This It's Too Late. I think it's better than Take Care. I think it's better than all of his. I think this is his best work, without a doubt. Easily his best work. Easily. Without a doubt. You listen to this, bro, there's no skips. There's no skips. There is zero skips. This album will age better than any album that Drake has ever put out, ever. There's no skips on this album. Zero. None. I listened to that. I drove up to Eastern Michigan and back for my daughter's graduation yesterday. There were no skips. I'm just riding with it. I listened to it with different sound systems. I listened to it inside of the truck yesterday in the nav. There's zero skips. Zero. None. From beginning to end, it's all perfectly aligned, bro. It's just the facts, bro. It just is what it is. Album is incredible. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Incredible. Without a doubt. I don't need no chain. I'm keeping it 100. That album is a 10 out of 10 in any era. That album is sick, bro. It's sick. You know how I know that an album is great? When I don't even want to listen to nothing else at the moment. It's nobody that should be dropping until the fall right now. I'm telling you, I didn't even check to see who dropped music this Friday. That's the honest to God truth. The only thing I've been listening to is Iceman. I did not even check to see who dropped music this week. That's all I've been listening to. It's all I've been playing. It's the only thing I've been playing, bro. As soon as I open it, that's where I'm at. It's the only thing. Look, bro, it's the only thing. It's the only thing I've been playing, bro. It's all I've been listening to. It's the only thing I'm honest to God, bro. It's the only thing I've been listening to. And I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get to nothing else. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in listening to nothing else. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. But it ain't nothing else that's touching that right now. I don't even know how people looking to drop albums right now, bro. Now, of course, y'all gonna feel some type of way because they Kendrick fans. Boom, bop, bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. The type of cinema you shouldn't understand. The type of cinema you didn't understand. Peekaboo. I get it. I get it. This is for people that's living a life, getting some type of money, running up a bag, whose accounts are overflowing. They have options. They spending money. Hey, listen, let me get a sweet. Let me get a sweet. We all gonna rock out. It's a different type of love. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of energy. I was in the car, me and my mother-in-law. She said, "Oh my," she said, "I've never heard this before." She said, "This is so good." Said, "You like this, mother-in-law?" I love it. Can you put this on my phone? Can you put that on my, what is it called? Ice Man? Can you put it on my phone? I said, absolutely. Then I played her another song. I said, check this out now. Tell me what you think about this. Boom, bop, bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. She was like, I don't really like that one. That seems it's a little dusty. I cracked up, bro. She said, it's a little dusty. She said, it's a little dusty. So yeah, I get it. She said, it don't feel like we should be playing it in this car. I kid you not. Real talk. She said, it don't feel like we should be playing that in this car. I said, well, let me go and get my bucket that I'm working on. I got a project bucket. Let me go get a 83 Caprice Classic with the doors rusted on the side of it, and then maybe I can play it inside of it. Boom, bop, bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. I'm telling you. Talking about I'm capping on Mama Law. I'm not capping. Why would I cap? Hey, you at work?
I took off today.
I'm on a live stream, so just letting you know I'm live. Did you enjoy our ride yesterday? Just me and you listening to my music?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I did. We haven't done, see, that's the kind of stuff that I miss with us.
Did you enjoy my music?
I enjoyed your music, yes. I did. I really did. I don't listen to that type of music, and I wasn't that Common or something?
No, that was Drake.
Oh, that was Drake. Okay, I thought that was Common.
All right, I gotta get back to the show. Let me get back to the show.
I did enjoy it. Thank you.
All right, babe. It was just me and her. We was just rocking. They don't know no better. They don't know no better, but I gotta put them up on it. I gotta put them up on it. Then I put on Boom, bop, bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. I just wanted to test it. She was like, this don't sound like something we should be playing inside of this car. Somebody said the 87 Caprice is where it's at, but not the one with the doors is rusted. I'm not talking about the ones from down south. I'm talking about the ones that's been up here in the north. And when you remove that the chrome at the bottom and it's all ain't no door in there, it's all rust. That's the one I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Long Way ENT says, sir, it is not Friday. Yeah, that's true. Let me make sure that I'll be a little bit more what is it, PG-13? TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, Jay and Dot, be quiet, then boom. I love it. Dope. Darnell says that freestyle was whack. I disagree, but okay. Okay. TS says, you like that Young Miami spin that? It's not my cup of tea. Doesn't really align with what I got going on in my life. But I can understand if the women want that, right? You know what I'm saying? I know the women like it. Landlord from Alabama says, what's the best track to me? I can't stop playing Whisper My Name. They all, you like them all for different reasons. I recently started to listen to Dust, and then I started listening to Janice, and then I started listening to Run to Atlanta. You got a different vibe for different things. Actually, I've been listening to the very last one. The very last one, bro. So, play Luther, TV off, or something not peekaboo. Nah. Peekaboo. F. Jackson says, I found the tape. My heart stopped when Diddy walked in frame playing with something. Wink. Maybe he a grower though. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you a grower, it may a lot of women don't understand that part though. Maybe they didn't capture that part. Maybe Diddy is a grower. No pause. I can't wait to have this conversation with Slimmy and the ladies tomorrow. Maybe Diddy wasn't maybe he wasn't there yet. And y'all just overly critical. Y'all overly critical of what he was doing. Sometimes you grow, or maybe it was cold. Maybe it was cold. Maybe it wasn't his best day. Maybe it wasn't his best. Sometimes we don't give our best performance because the camera is on. Y'all don't understand. Sometimes it's not your best day. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to underpromise. You know what I'm saying? Kingdom bound, you got to underpromise and overdeliver. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes you get nervous. Sometimes you get nervous. You know what? I'm not feeling the best. I'm under the weather today. Oh man. Go back in the turtle shell. Peekaboo. Oh man, let's pivot for a second and get off all of this stupid stuff. Let's talk about AI. I want to talk about the first AI film that has now been produced for less than $2,000. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Hard to imagine a movie made with no lights, no cameras, and no actors, but that movie is now here. Dreams of Violets, fully generated by artificial intelligence, is set to premiere next month as AI remakes the world of entertainment. CBS News senior business and technology correspondent Jolene Kent has more.
AI is stealing the Hollywood spotlight. Dreams of Violets, the first ever fully AI-generated docudrama, premieres at the Tribeca Film Festival next week.
There's no way for me to go get millions of dollars to make this film.
Director Ash Kusha says the film cost just $2,000 to produce and 2 months for AI programs to generate all of the film's imagery. No cast, no crew, and a fraction of the money and time it'd take with traditional movie making. Amazon MGM Studios this week announced 3 new kids series written and voiced by humans, but animated with AI tools. But after facing backlash, the creator of one of the series, Punky Duck, pulled out just 2 days later, posting, "I am absolutely understanding the concern of using AI to assist an animation pipeline." And Lauren Brantz, the creator of another character, Cuppy, sharing on Instagram that she's horrified and disgusted that the AI series is moving forward without her input.
It's kind of that balance of how can it cut costs, which a lot of people hope it will do in some avenues, but also not impinge on creativity.
We reached out to Amazon and have not yet heard back. And also here in Hollywood, Netflix, one of those big streaming giants, announcing that they're starting a new animation studio in-house that will create AI-generated content.
Somebody said, what did they spend $2,000 on? The electricity bill? No, they spent it on tokens, subscriptions, software, basically his ability to be able to produce it. And so I think that more of this is coming. Listen. I know that a lot of people think that AI is a bubble. It's not. It's not. It never has been. It never will be. I was actually having a conversation with Yakar maybe a month and a half ago when I was telling Yakar, I said, I'm working on this project that I think I might launch on another channel where I'm actually producing short stories. Now, the reason that I haven't launched it because I actually have put together the makings or the foundation of a makings of something similar to this. It's actually a short film, not a longer film. It's actually like 25 minutes instead of it being a full scale production, is because I'm trying to figure out the monetization on YouTube because I know that they limit the amount of money that you can make when you have AI generated content. So I'm not going to do stuff just for the sake of doing it. I don't want to be the first one through the door, but at the same time, I always try. My talent is figuring out where the money is. Okay. That's where my talent is. It's figuring out how to monetize things. So I was telling Yakar this about a month and a half ago. Right. And I was saying, listen, the biggest problem that we're going to have is trying to figure out how we can leverage it and monetize it and utilize it. Not whether or not it's going to be a thing. It is already, it's here. It's here. It's absolutely here. 100%. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to get bigger. And people that are fearful of it are going to be the ones that are replaced as a result of it. Now, with regard to Hollywood, the reason why all of these actors and these Hollywood people are scared is because A, it's disrupting their way of life. Gone are the days, unless it is a Marvel or something like that. Gone are the days where you are spending $100, $200 million in order to produce a film. It's not, it's over. It's over. Which also is going, because let me tell you why. Movie houses are moving to independent filmmakers and content creators now. They are moving over to people that can basically license them out content or allow for them to be able to buy content. And the only reason why the Netflix, the Apples, all of these platforms are spending, the Amazon Primes, the only reason they're spending as much money as they're spending acquiring content is because they have a spend. They have a designated amount. If anybody is invested in any of these companies, you can actually hear it on the analyst call. They have a designated amount that they're using, and they're saying, we have to spend this amount of money. We're going to spend $300 million a year. Let's say a company says, we're going to spend $300 million on buying content and then putting Netflix original on it. So then you basically go to the film festivals, you go to all of these independent content creators or whatever, so on and so forth. And when they put together something that the audience responds to, Netflix then purchases it, and then they say, this is a Netflix original film, because you're basically selling your IP. You're selling this over to Netflix. Now, the smart people, in my opinion, are going to be licensing. Licensing, in my opinion, is less profitable on the front end, more profitable on the back end, unless you're just needing a quick hit. You just need some quick money. So the question that we should be asking ourselves is not if disruption is coming, but how do you put yourself in a position to be disruptive? How do you put yourself in a position to be disruptive? It is what it is, bro. And it's going to become more normalized. Right now, you're seeing an outcry of it because there's Hollywood actors and stuff that's getting replaced, and they're saying, oh man, CGI replaced real scenes where they had to blow up real cars. Then you see even more animated series and even more people that were being able to produce things in After Effects and all of these other programs. AI is just the next iteration of it. And if you are not a person that understands how to use it effectively, then you're going to be out of that whole thing. And we already seen actors going broke. A lot of these actors is already broke. They're not going broke. They broke. Most actors, most actresses are broke. They're broke. They're broke. I'm telling you, they are broke. Tapped out. Tapped out. They're broke. And if you're telling me, if I'm a movie house, right, and I'm looking to figure out how I can save money while at the same time produce the same quality and or put out more films without having to worry about people, if you don't think that I'm looking into this in order to stay competitive, then you're crazy. You're crazy. Some of y'all favorite actresses, they going. Oh man, y'all have no clue. Y'all have no clue. You have no clue, bro. They're not as inaccessible as y'all may think that they are. I promise you. They're not as inaccessible as you think that they are. They going. You want to see what some of y'all favorite actresses or previous reality show people are? You know what they doing? They on TikTok selling stuff. They on TikTok. They selling stuff. They begging on TikTok. They begging hard. Begging on TikTok hard. Or they trying to attach themselves to a man of means. They going, bro. And they know I'm telling the truth. I'm not going to tell you, listen, I'm not dissing them, but I'm not telling you anything that's not true, bro. I'm not telling you nothing that's not true. They going. If y'all don't think that they regular people just like all of the rest of these chicks, why? Just because they had some visibility on a major series or they had some visibility on a movie, what you think that movie is carrying them for the rest of their life? It ain't. It ain't. They coming to kick it. I promise you they coming to kick it. Hey, Anton, I watch your stuff all the time. I know. They trying to figure it out like everybody else. What you think that they got? They got some backdoor money that they sitting on, that they hanging on. They not. White, black, they all going at the same time. And it's rough out here. It's if you in Hollywood or you decided that you wanted to become an actress or actor, I promise you, they're going. But the problem with them is that they can't just go and get a regular job, right? So because they're trying to maintain their visibility, because they're trying to maintain that aura, they can't be seen out here at the grocery store bagging up groceries at the beginning. Now, I'm gonna respect them no matter what, because I think that anybody that's trying to take care of themselves and take care of their family, you got to do what you got to do. But I want y'all to understand that these are regular, everyday people. Man, blowing the doors off of life and seeing what life is really about. Man, you see so much stuff, bro. Famous but not rich is a curse. Famous but not rich is a curse.
Tony.
Very interesting. Jolene Kent, thank you.
A new drama is pushing the boundaries of storytelling and creativity. Dreams of Violets is the first movie created entirely by artificial intelligence to debut at the Tribeca Film Festival. It's a fictional drama about 5 strangers who witnessed something very real, the massacre of Iranian civilians back in January. Here's a preview.
And it's only going to get better.
Joining me now is Ash Kusha, who's the director and producer of the film. Thank you for being here. What was produced by artificial intelligence and what was produced by human intelligence?
Well, thanks for having me. The writing of the script, the ideation, the blocking, and I would say the entire creative force to make decisions to put footage, the end footage, and edited, and as well as the sound and music is human made.
I'm gonna go over something else with y'all too. But give me a second. I'm gonna talk about it on Patreon.
What you see on the picture, the end rendering of the footage is made using AI models. So the imagery mostly is, I would say, the AI component. And the reason for that is very obvious, is because it's very hard to make this kind of movie about such a delicate subject.
Can you go further into
in
that?
such a short time?
Why not make this with a real crew, with real actors?
Yeah, so there are a couple of notes about that. I had to sit and watch and research around 3,000 images and footages of the actual events, the eyewitness accounts. And in order to create a collage of these locations, it would just take months to even prepare the locations, have a large budget to allocate the props and the people and the locations. And I think speed here mattered for me. It was my choice simply because this is a very personal story. It needs to be told very quickly, right? It's a very poetic, impulsive piece of work. So I think I thought for a moment that there's no way for me, not being a professional filmmaker as well, to go get millions of dollars to make this film. So it was just impossible. For me, this is the category of film that is just impossible,
And
considering what the subject matters.
It only cost you $2,000 to make, right? And it's my understanding that this wasn't your day job. You have a different day job. How'd you do it?
Yeah, so I had to basically make blocks of times where I put things to either render, to generate, and then just use my time after work. And that's why it took 2 months. I would have done this in 3 weeks if it wasn't for my main job. Yeah.
Somebody says, Dame Sniff says, this is barely a movie. This will never hold a candle to real acting. You crazy. You're crazy. Listen, I keep trying to tell y'all, you can fight it. You can try to act like it's not a real thing. You can try to push back at it and say, I'm not going to support. That's not true. That's not true. Somebody said, this is why I don't go to the movies anymore. The movies is back popping. I don't know what y'all talking about. The movies is back popping. They back up.
It's Disclosure Day, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and a fifth chapter in the beloved Toy Story. Those soon-to-be blockbusters come on the heels of a string of hits this year that has experts projecting the biggest annual box office since the pandemic. But are those movies enough to save the theater experience that was left for dead not so long ago? NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Melas has our Sunday focus.
Scared? You should be.
To a Devil Wears Prada sequel.
I am the new features editor at Runway.
No, you're not. But it's not just familiar titles coming back. Many experts predicted after the pandemic that the movie-going experience, just like the dinosaurs, would go extinct. But call it a plot twist. So far this year, box office revenue is up more than 10% compared to...
What I'm trying to tell y'all is that in-person experiences combined with whatever it is that we're evolving into from a technological perspective is going to be the new wave. I'm telling you, it's going to be the new wave. If you've been outside for a minute, right? I've seen more movies at the movie theater this year than I ever have in my entire life. And that's partly because we have been doing the show on after hours as far as frame fights. And I'm pretty sure that we'll go back to doing that. Probably, especially in the summer. But I've been to more shows. But in this experience that I've had, I've also been able to observe what people are wanting to do, what they got going on, and what's happening. And what I'm realizing is there are a ton of people outside. For all of y'all that's sitting in the crib, that only sit in the house all the time and don't necessarily do anything and say, you know what, I only want to stay home or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, you're missing out because there's a segment and a demographic of people that's looking to party. They're looking to go outside. They're looking for experiences. They're looking to go to the movie theater. They want to hold hands. They want to get scared. They want to sit up and eat popcorn. And they want that old school feeling back. They want that old school feeling back. What you think that The Devil Wears Prada 2 blew up? All of these different movies is blowing up. The movie theaters is running up a bag. They're running up a bag. I'm telling you, there is people are outside. They back outside again, man. I'm outside all the time, and now that the weather broke, man, I'll go down the street, I'll ride down the street. People are outside every day. Now, there may be a segment of y'all that is saying, you know what? No, I'm not outside or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nope, they outside. They popping. It's popping. So you're wrong. Now, that may be what you got going on or where you live or what you got happening, but you're wrong. People are outside every single day, bro. Every day. Terrible People Podcast says, remember Seinfeld, he could be a George Costanza. Shout out to Terrible People Podcast. D Jones R&B says, I told my homie most of your favorite entertainers are broke from the mismanaging the funds and overspending, especially when they blame the record company. That's a fact. Miss Salah says, I want to piggyback off of what you're saying, bro. A lot of people would be more accepted and happier if they went outside and let themselves be seen. That's my biggest problem right now, Miss Salah, is that I'm outside. My biggest problem right now is that I'm outside, meaning that it's hard to have work-life balance when you get to go outside. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as on the AI front, a lot of companies are trying to figure out, they're trying to balance between trying to figure out what the true cost of AI automation is. Let me go over to this Bloomberg podcast really quickly. Because I want to share this with y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Writes, innovation doesn't only need the technology, but also the physical infrastructure to support the product. Adam is a columnist for Bloomberg Opinion and a lecturer at the Yale School of Management. He joins us now on set here in New York. Wonderful to see you. Let's talk about this, the effervescence, the enthusiasm surrounding AI, meeting the reality of having to pay for it. And there are extreme things that I think of, the amount of money, for instance, that Meta has poured into this. It's begun to retrench some of that here. How widely spread is that? Are a lot of companies kind of reckoning with what is this going to be, and is it worth the investment at this point in time?
So great to be here. So yes, but there's a nuance here, right? So there's a company I was talking to the CEO yesterday. He said, if Claude charged us 10 times what it does right now, he said, I would pay it and I wouldn't hesitate. He's like, I wouldn't even think twice.
But what kind of company is that, and what is the application?
Right, it's a small healthcare company. So there's a big difference when you have 10,000 engineers who are running $2,000 per head. If you go 10x, right, things change when you're at that scale. But I think what's driving this is it's really interesting that the debate on AI is kind of missing something pretty big, right? And that I think is what this cost thing is starting to drive us towards. Because you see, there are the boosters, and I used to code. The ability to talk to my computer and have it do something without is genuinely, it feels miraculous.
Fantastic.
It's astonishing.
Yeah.
And then there are people with enormous scientific and technical credibility who say, this is not going to come together the way you think. Like this technology doesn't have the potential you think. There's hype. Those are also serious people. You shouldn't dismiss them.
Not doomers per se, but skeptics of this. Yeah.
There's a third scenario, which it just strikes me no one talks about, which is you can have a revolutionary, world-changing, astonishing technology that doesn't end up making anyone any money. And this is the thing that I don't see people talking about. And I'll give you two examples. The airline, no one would deny that the airline industry, right? Just change the world, right? You can go anywhere, perfect safety, and eat peanuts on the way. Just remarkable.
More of a pretzels gal myself, but I'm going with you. Continue.
But, Warren Buffett famously said that the airlines were such a machine for incinerating capital that if an enterprising capitalist had been at Kitty Hawk when Orville took his flight, he should have shot the thing down, right? You can change the world and not make money. In biotech, you saw sort of, the biotech revolution starting in 1975.
The reason why he's using the airline industry as an example is the exact same reason why I tell y'all that you should never invest in airline stocks, right? What does that mean? He's saying that the airline industry has not benefited from the evolution of being able to take passengers from one country to another or from one city to another. Because when you really start to look at the numbers, they kind of sort of lost more money than they've made. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that the industry itself is not revolutionary. If you look at any stock, whether you was looking at Spirit that just recently went out of business, Frontier that's saddled with debt, American Airlines, I got a whole lot of debt. United Airlines, I got a lot of debt. If you want to go and look at Delta, for example, Delta has a ton of debt. Now, I'm not going to go into it on this show because we talk about this inside the stock club. And the ability to be able to run these companies require for them to have a lot of debt. And most of the time, the industry gets consolidated. They have bad years during COVID. They suffered all of this stuff. The innovation of the technology itself didn't necessarily translate into them making money. Are they profitable? Yes. Have they been as profitable as they need to be to justify the innovation of the industry itself? Probably not. My point is that sometimes you grow, sometimes other industries benefit as a result of it, right? The airline industry also upholds and supports a bunch of other things that go on to it, that go into it. And so that's what he's kind of saying. He's saying that there's multiple avenues for you to take when it comes to AI innovation. And we haven't explored them all yet.
So from 1975 to 2004, Gary Pisano at Harvard Business School showed that the biotech industry might maybe have made money in 1 year, right? And for that entire time, it was essentially just a furnace for money. You poured money in and, drugs came out, lives came saved, but people didn't make money, right? And you've got huge capital investments, lots of uncertainty, long delays before payoff, enormous costs. Oh, and the problem that, that AI is dealing with that biotech didn't is the open weights labs out of China in the last benchmarks are 4 to 8 months behind.
Wow.
That's not much of a moat.
That's right.
Yeah.
I also want to ask you talk a lot
Let me also throw something in there of this whole AI conversation, this whole innovation thing. And I don't like to talk about this on the Millionaire Morning Show. The valuation of it, they're pouring money into AI, but they're not yet making the return on their investment. What some of these companies are hoping for, and we're going to deep dive into this on the whole SpaceX offering tonight on the Patreon, is the valuation of the company itself. They're looking to prop up the stock. Now, in order to do that, you have to say that you're making changes with AI. You're focusing a lot of your capital on AI spending. You're reducing headcount so you can spend more on AI. And what does that do? You get rewarded from analysts and investors that then say, well, the company should be valued at this because they're leveraging AI itself. And so the rumors and the technology itself will make your company more valuable, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're generating more revenue from implementing it yet, because nobody is actually really making money from AI. Nobody has figured out how to make money from AI yet. Not physical exchange currency for a value add by using this AI software. You understand what I'm saying? So what is the true value of something, right? It's to be able to sell it at X times multiple. So you have profitability of a company, and then you say, well, how valuable is this company, or what would I sell it for if I was to sell it to a major investor? Well, you would have to measure what the multiples are, and then also subtract whatever your liabilities are, which includes debt. That's not how we're valuing companies today. We're valuing companies much differently. So we're talking about AI, the AI bubble, and all of this other stuff, but they've just even really rolled it out from a subscription perspective. Google themselves are reducing the amount that they're charging for a prescription or for a subscription because they want to integrate you into their ecosystem. Somebody said, Chris Cunningham says, without going into details, why don't you like SpaceX? We're gonna get into the numbers tonight, Chris. We're gonna get into the numbers tonight. I'm not gonna do that, because now you asking me to give them all of the advice of what I would give in a Patreon, and I'm not gonna do that at all. At all. And so companies a lot of times are reevaluating what their spend is, what their capital spend is, but a lot of it is based off of what they think that they can make and not necessarily where they are right now in the industry.
PBS event in China just a few months ago, a great conversation about AI, and obviously you have a lot of thoughts on it as well. Is AI going to be the great job destroyer that many people in the banking industry are talking about, hedging their comments and maybe not communicating as well to the rank and file?
So Dror Nasmoglu and I work on this a lot. We have a research center together at MIT. We've written a book, Power and Progress, on this issue. And I think there's a danger that AI, in its automating form, in the form that displaces workers, will predominate, whereas what we're arguing for is using AI to strengthen human expertise, to increase the demand for human expertise, and to allow you to expand into new areas, because that will actually strengthen employment.
You said many good jobs, though, are going to be lost. You say it's looking increasingly dark. How do we stay away from that worst-case scenario when, I guess, the complaint is that the larger companies are going to be able to get richer because of it, and the worker is going to be left behind?
Well, this is exactly where we are right now, which is the automation part of AI is moving ahead pretty much at full steam. And the new job creation part, the part that creates new tasks, the part that expands what your company can do, is being somewhat neglected. Now, we think that's mostly about corporate executive decisions. It's easy to replace people. It requires more work to think about the new frontiers, but you need to think about the new frontiers, and there's tremendous value to be had there. There's a lot of profit to be had if you can bring the latest ideas out of universities, commercialize them, turn that into manufacturing. And Hong Kong and China have got a great opportunity to do this, but so does the US.
Yeah, I was strumming through the book in 2023 that you talked about, Power and Progress, right? Yeah. Over 1,000-year struggle over technology and prosperity. You argued that tech does not automatically create good, right? The benefits go to a narrow elite, right? China seems to have a different approach to AI as well. They're worried about that kind of progress going to the corporate elite. So they would like to see a more disbursement, if you will, especially in younger, unemployed people who can kind of do one-person companies through agentic AI. Do you see a completely different, bifurcated AI development and philosophical approach to AI between the US and China?
No, actually, I think there's convergence.
Really?
And maybe the rhetoric is different. The US doesn't quite talk about as much about the opportunities for young people yet, but it's coming. And I think both teams, if we can call them that, are pursuing the technology, the frontier. They're realizing the automation is real and dramatic. But what are the people, where are the good jobs going to be? So I think both US and China have got their own political grappling with the same issue.
Have you come up with that calculus? Where are the good jobs going to be?
Science.
What is that in the background?
New innovation.
But not necessarily coding and software.
Right. So obviously some of the tasks within existing businesses and also new businesses are...
They have this thing called vibe coding nowadays. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's so different. It's so different than what we used to deal with.
This website and this app without writing a single line of code. How? It's called vibe coding. You just describe what you want, like you're texting a friend, and Google AI Studio builds it for you. If you're not familiar with AI Studio, it's Google's vibe coding platform, where you can turn ideas into apps with just a...
Yeah, as long as you're able to accurately describe exactly what you want, now they're calling it vibe coding. When I used to be in school, when I went to school for software engineering, when I was putting it together myself, you actually had to understand the languages themselves. You had to study multiple different languages to do different things. Even if, let's just say, for example, you was a front-end developer and you was working with HTML, HTML5, CSS, HTML hypertext markup language, which is the code itself that actually shows you what's going on. So if I go to, you want to go to the page source. This is for those of you that may not be familiar. So you're looking at, well, not in this particular instance itself, but let's say, for example, I want to go to, I don't know, name a website. Complex. And I actually wanted to look at the source code of Complex, right? And so when you're looking at this, and obviously it's a lot more complicated than this. This is the source code, right? And you can deep dive into it and you can start to figure out and find out exactly what's going on inside of these websites by going to the source code itself. But let's just say, for example, you was a front-end developer, right? And you were programming what it looks like, what you interact with on a daily basis. And then you got CSS. CSS gives it it's almost like an adjectives. It gives it its vibe. It give it its description. So you can change the colors, you can change the size of the buttons, you can change all of this stuff. And then you throw in some JavaScript in order to give it some interactivity, right? And so all of these things were different languages. All of them was different. And then let's say you wanted to actually understand how to build a database. A database was necessary so that you can store things in it. So like, for example, I built the site, one of the sites that I made early money for, and I'm not going to go into it in detail, but you had to build this database. Well, I had to learn how to build a database, even though I was just a front end and back end developer and a software engineer. You had to build a database in order to store information, right? If I wanted to store albums and album covers and music in itself, in order for people to be able to play and stream, well, I had to have that database. And then once we evolved, we started putting that into the cloud, right? Instead of actually having hard storage, you had to put it into the cloud in order for you to be able to stream it and have it accessible all the time. And so you had to learn all of these different things that went in C#, right? SQL, MySQL, all of that stuff. And so you had to learn all of these things as you went to create a better product. Then you had to learn how to do development as far as Apple's iOS system to build native applications instead of hybrid applications. And then you had to learn Google, and then you had to get a license and all of these things, right? And so you stayed busy putting yourself in a position to where you would be even more valuable to a company, right? They used to have these vlog sites, and it was all of these different types of ways in which you can do it. I remember when WordPress came out and everybody was using WordPress. It's so funny how stuff goes away. We used to use Drupal, right? A lot of y'all may not be familiar with that. We use Drupal at the University of Michigan on a lot of their information and technology services sites. Drupal was a more powerful way for the user, right? So you would want to develop it and you would want to give them the blueprint, but then you would give them, you would use Drupal to give them some permissions to change the stuff themselves. So for example, let's say I developed this site and I want them to be able to do the majority of it themselves. Let's say they wanted to change the wording, they wanted to change where they position something or whatever. I would then build it in Drupal, and then I would give them permissions to be able to change some stuff. That way they didn't have to come back to me and say, yeah, it's crazy how everything changes. I would give them permission so that it wouldn't have to come back to me and say, well, Anton, can you change this? Or, hey, development team or whatever, can y'all change this? We got to put in a request, a service request. Well, now you didn't have to do that because we gave you some permissions to be able to do it yourself. So you had to learn all of these things over a period of time. And only people that know Drupal, D-R-U-P-A-L, only people that know this and built it would be able to do that, right? They know all of these different changes and evolution over time. And then it was a UX UI. It was more important for you to work with the developers, but you were focused on creating the best user experience, because once these devices came out, people care more about the user experience, the flow, where the menu was. When everything first came out, as far as mobile devices, everybody had a hamburger menu at the top where you just had everything in the menu and then you drop it down or whatever. Then you start getting social media sites that changed that, right? Instagram and Facebook started putting on the applications to where wherever your thumb was, that's where you started to click where you wanted to go, and you started to add iconography and all of this stuff, right? So when you think about that, and then you think about the transformation of vibe coding, it's like, now people that's just, getting familiar with AI or whatever, oh, I want to build a website, whatever, I'm just going to vibe code. Hey, do this, do that, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. You don't really understand how we've developed and leapfrogged over a period of time to where we've gotten to the point now where we can start having these conversations about what vibe coding is. I remember building a website and basically developing 3 different CSS templates, right? Based off of whatever the screen width was. You built one for the desktop website, right? Where you scrolling around with a mouse. And then you built another one basically for iPads, or if you shrunk the screen down to a certain size. And then you built one for mobile. And so every CSS 3, document was based off of, it changes based off of the screen size. It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. Responsive CSS, correct. That's exactly what they are, Cheese. But I think that the best prompt engineers are the ones that actually understand where we came from, though. That's what gives you the edge, right? The best prompt engineers are the ones that come from a background that knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because they don't even think about these same things. They're not thinking about the login process. They're not thinking about, where you put your thumb at, because they're not used to, going through the UA process, UX UI process. They don't know anything about designing for more than just this one device. They don't know anything about any of this stuff. So this gives you the edge. It's not there to replace you. It's there to assist you. It's there to assist. It's there to help you be even better at what you do for a living. You know what I'm saying? So it is. It's a different wave. It's a different play. It's a different space to play in. But most people don't understand it. I still think that Dreamweaver is cool. I haven't used it because I don't develop sites anymore. But Dreamweaver was underrated because people tried to discount it and say, well, it's not a real It's not something that you want to develop in. When in reality, you can develop it in anything. You can develop it in Notepad plus if you just wanted to, right? It allowed for you to be able to see your results quicker, especially if you weren't linking out. You know what I'm saying? So there was never anything wrong with Dreamweaver. Now, people that were using Dreamweaver as a substitute for being able to actually code, that's where the problem came in. It handicaps you if you were going into it from that lens. You still needed to know how to develop if you wanted to change anything. You still needed to know how to build a database. You still needed to know how to do all of this type of stuff, right? When you go and fill out a form, where does that information go? There was nothing wrong with Dreamweaver. Everybody act like just because you use a different application that made you a better developer. It didn't. It made it more difficult for you. Anyways, I'm starting to get into nerd talk, so we deep diving a little bit too much. Let me read a couple of super chats. Shout out to Moses Prophet, says movies been draining my money. I love going to the show. I think that's why I stopped watching movies, is because we weren't going to the show no more. I was burnt out off of doing everything from home. And so, all of the Netflix and Amazon and all of that type of stuff, I was like, man, I'd rather just work and get some money. I'd rather do some real stuff. And when you watch stuff from home, let's say, for example, I opened up this iPad, right? And I started watching movies on it or whatever. It distracts you kind of sort of from whatever you're doing. But when you go to the movies, you 100% dialed in. You 100% dialed into whatever the movie is going on. Five Brown says, yo, AD, I'm in the house. I'm the in the house person you're referring to. I want to go out more and date myself, but I have no idea where to start. Any suggestions? I think that the first wave of interactivity, in my opinion, is probably going to the gym or working in an environment that requires you for you to go outside. Once you start to go outside, you never want to go back inside because everything is out there. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when you want to start getting fresh. That's when you want to start making sure that you take care of yourself more. You start going to events, all of that stuff. You start going to baseball games. Like, you just find stuff to do. You start looking to see, okay, what's happening in the city? You know what I'm saying? What's happening outside? I used to go and work from different locations. I would find a different location every other day to go and work at. It's fun, man. It's so fun. Like, think about it, Fa. I could live stream this show from the house. There's nothing stopping me from doing this exact show at the crib, from wherever I'm at. I do it when I go on vacation. I do it when I go out of the country. I do it when I go to Vegas. I do it when everything. I purposely come into the studio because I would prefer to come outside. I could do this from the crib. I got comfy chairs. I got a nice background. I got the whole city behind me and all of this stuff. I purposely want to go outside. I don't want to sit in the crib. Yeah, you in Philly. You should be outside. You should be downtown. You got a lot to do in Philly, bro. Yeah, and being in the studio, what I found is that, which is so funny because I was thinking about what I'm gonna build my next studio on. I was on Instagram and I was getting all of this inspiration, and I was looking at these warehouses where they basically completely transform them into these dope spaces, these big old open spaces. And I was thinking to myself, I think I'm about to buy and build a warehouse. And you give your girl some time to miss you. Say that too. All right, let me see what else we got on the docket. United Airlines flight, San Francisco rent prices, more Meta layoffs. Let's go to I don't care about the San Francisco.
Terrifying midair scare, a United pilot issuing a hijacking alert. The United flight heading to Minneapolis suddenly diverted to Madison, Wisconsin after a 75-year-old man allegedly tried to storm the cockpit. Law enforcement officials on board that plane working together to subdue the man. Well, we're now learning about the investigation and that passenger. ABC's Ika Jachi leading us off tonight.
Tonight, an investigation after authorities say a 75-year-old man repeatedly attempted to breach the cockpit door on a United Airlines flight from Chicago. 5 members of law enforcement on board struggling to subdue him in the aisle.
It's actually a situation where we might have to close.
Hey, y'all struggling to subdue a 75-year-old man? He's 75. What is he, Hulk Hogan?
Close the airfield due to potential hijack.
The Boeing 737 bound for Minneapolis with 147 passengers and 6 crew on board. But just before 9 p.m., all of that changed. The captain diverting the plane to Dane County, Wisconsin.
Yeah, we'll land, take a left turn, just have law enforcement stand by the aircraft just in case, but I'm very confident with the 5 that we have on board back there.
Witnesses say sheriff's deputies immediately boarded the plane. Mike Rundle was traveling with his wife.
5 police officers came on the plane and asked the gentleman to stand up, put handcuffs on him, and walked him out. Taking this very seriously, and of course you have to. If that, you don't really know what the intentions are of any person that might be, trying to get into a cockpit of a commercial airplane.
The remaining passengers resuming their flight after security checks.
Somebody with some sort of device and a sweatshirt that said bomb squad walked by. You're going to have to go to the gate so law enforcement could sweep the plane.
Dane County, Wisconsin authorities say the man appeared to be confused and in a mental health crisis. Now, the FBI is handling this investigation and say no charges are being pursued at this time.
Nah, man, ain't nobody tripping about that.
Tonight, we are learning more about what happened.
I think this lady is so cute. I think she is so bad. I don't know why, but I like her a lot.
And inside a United Airlines
I know that everybody in the chat gonna sit here and say, "Nah, Tom, she mid." I know everybody gonna sit here and tell me about how she a 3, how she a 2, and how they would rather have Bobby 8th off. I know. Yeah, yep. You rather have Bobby, and she a 2 or she a 3, and all of that. I'm so used to it. Nah, man, she just average.
Forced to make an emergency landing in Wisconsin. It is the second midair security scare this week. CBS's Ali Bauman at Newark International has more on just how frightening this situation was.
Good evening, Jerika. The FBI is investigating last night's incident. It's one of more than 600 unruly passenger reports so far this year, and we are just at the start of the summer travel season.
We might have to close the airfield due to potential hijack.
A stark warning from air traffic controllers at Dane County Regional Airport in Wisconsin. This after an unruly passenger forced a United flight from Chicago to Minneapolis to divert. Law enforcement officers traveling on the plane restrained the 75-year-old man midair.
They were able to finally get control of him after multiple attempts to try to breach the cockpit.
No injuries were reported. Mark Rundle was one of the 147 passengers on board.
You never expect yourself to be in a situation like that, right? It's a little bit scary just because of all of the unknowns, but ended up being okay.
This comes just 2 days after another disruptive passenger forced an American Airlines flight from Athens to New York to divert to Rome. These types of incidents have slowly declined since spiking in 2021, but the number of unruly passenger reports is still above pre-pandemic levels. There were 141 incidents last month.
Airlines need to get a no-fly list, and they need to adhere to that to make sure that people that are causing problems on prior flights are not allowed to continue to fly on other flights.
Local law enforcement says that 75-year-old man appeared confused and in a mental health crisis. Police are not filing criminal
It
charges.
don't sound like he was trying to hijack the plane itself, but there are some people that are doing some things that I don't necessarily care for.
Why are you disgracing everybody else? Asking you, excuse me. Why is you sitting here arguing?
Why are you so special?
Because I'm trying to get to the front.
Yeah, we're all trying to get to the front. We all paid the same goddamn money.
Okay, but I'm saying, sir, I'm just telling you, excuse me. If you move,
cool, and the door ain't open.
I'm just saying, though, it don't matter.
It don't matter either way.
I'm trying to get up to the front.
Yeah, we all are.
Excuse me.
She always like that? Oh, sorry, you don't know her.
No, thankfully. So if I just move you the fuck out of my way, then I'm assaulting.
Yeah.
So you won't move.
Why are you?
I'm asking you to say, excuse me.
And I'm saying no.
Okay.
I can say no. I don't have to say yes, do I?
You don't,
do I need to say yes?
Sir, I'm saying excuse me.
And I'm saying no,
and you
thank
just don't block my way.
Yeah.
So if I
always be careful of a woman.
So if I hit you, that's assaulting.
And you
yeah, that's not a good look. Always be careful of a woman that has a one-piece jean hookup on. There's nothing bad about a one-piece jean hookup. Kind of remind me of, like, you know, the suspender things that the farmers used to wear or whatever, right? You can't be threatening to hit nobody, though. You can't be threatening to hit nobody. If you threaten to hit somebody, you lose all credibility. Now, you could get away with it and say, hey, listen, I was just trying to get to the front. Maybe this is my first or second or third time saying this, or, hey, I think I'm about to miss my layover because we was late getting here or whatever. Most people are pretty understanding, to be honest with you. Most people are pretty understanding if you explain to them why you're trying to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Hey, listen, you know, my layover, I think I'm about to miss it, whatever, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm having an emergency. I really, really got to use the bathroom, whatever. Like, even lie, come up with something. But don't threaten somebody and say that you want to hit them. Now, of course, and this is the thing that happens with white people, and I need black people to understand this, all right? White people, shout out to my snow hares and my snow bunnies. White people all across America, they sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of taking your nonsense. They don't want to continue to have to deal with your foolishness. And so let me tell you what white people are doing at this point. They're waiting for an opportunity to join in and say, why do you get to go to the front? Now, here's the key, though. Because you threaten to hit somebody, they're not wrong. Then you give them kind of, this is like, hey, guys, why does she get to go to the front? Hey, you wait your turn like everybody else. You know? You wait. Yeah, they push him back. They push him back. No. We're sick of it. Aren't we? Megan. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. We don't want to take it anymore. No. Because you always park your car on your lawn. You're bringing down the property value of everybody else that's going over here. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. They're sick of it. They're sick of taking your crap every single day. That's right. Wait your turn, ma'am. And you just gave them all of the ammunition that they needed in order to justify being sick of you.
Got 30 witnesses on you, man, with the red hair. You'll get arrested, and then you will get a lifetime flight ban. You want that?
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, excuse me.
What you're saying is you think that you are more special than everybody else on this goddamn fucking plane.
And when they get loud, they're getting loud for a reason, because they're letting everybody else know, listen, we're sick of it. Are you sick of it? Are you sick of it? I'm sick of it. Listen to what she's saying to him. Now, remember, this is not even his fight. She's talking to the person that's in front of her, but then he's validated for being able to get obnoxious with her because he's been sick of it. He's been watching the videos on the internet. He's sick of it. He caught the hashtag black fatigue, all of this stuff. You're going to get a lifetime ban. You're going to get 30 other people are sitting here listening to this. It's the truth. Listen, you're never going to get a more engaged person than a white person that's looking to put together a posse. And you still in the wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it because you threatened to hit somebody.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
They're gonna out loud you. Well, excuse me. Excuse me, ma'am. You're the one that threatened to hit somebody. You're the one that's gonna get banned from this airplane if you don't calm down and wait your turn. We're all trying to get off this plane at the same time. Now, excuse me. You know her? Oh, you don't know her. That's why you're by yourself.
Damn fucking plane. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm more special than you now. I'm louder than you. Like, who raised you, woman? Who raised you?
I don't understand why is the
Who raised you? Because I know your mom didn't raise you, because she would have slapped you upside the head by now.
Look, they get more and more belligerent, more and more disrespectful. They keep towing the line. They push it a little bit more and a little bit more. And I don't know who raised you, because whoever your mom, if your mom raised you, she should have slapped you in your red hair. Okay?
I'm just trying to get all the way to the front.
So am I. I'm not trying to catch people. Yeah, we just need this lady to calm the fuck down.
I'm not even angry.
She's threatening to assault people to get to the front.
If you're not moving out my way.
I wonder why.
You're not moving.
Do you see all the other people? Do you see all the other people?
Sir, now you being disrespectful.
Well, no, ma'am. I was disrespectful when I was telling you your mother didn't raise you right.
My mother did raise me.
She did not, because you clearly don't know what the fuck is going on in your life.
Y'all gonna have to understand, bro. White people are sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of your stuff. They're sick of your ass, man. They're sick of it. They don't want to deal with it anymore. They're tired of it. It's over for you. All right? We're not going to continue to go back because I didn't do anything to you. I didn't do anything to you. You're the one that's causing a problem. You're the one that's being belligerent. I'm telling you. Y'all don't really know what's happening out here in these streets. Y'all don't see it bubbling under the surface. White people are having conversations amongst themselves, and they're saying, you know what? We didn't enslave you. We don't know anything about that. Why are you were never a slave. I'm sick of you running in the Victim Olympics, and we're not taking it anymore. Listen, say it again. Wait your turn. Get your own job. Hey, I was poor too in my life. Keep playing. Because if you keep pushing a dog into a corner far enough, you keep villainizing them, then eventually they're gonna bite you back. And I'm telling you, they're having conversations amongst themselves. You catch that? You catch the new viral trend? Teen takeovers. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, regular takeovers, we're out there a little bit, so I can't really hold ourselves accountable. But these teen takeovers, somebody has to do something about these parents. And they just so happen to be, they just so happen to be that color. I'm not going to say it, but they're that color. They happen. Because if I say it, then it's going to say I'm racist. But they just so happen to be that. Now, I'm not talking about Tej. I'm talking about the color. You see it? I can't say it. They can say it to themselves, but I can't say it. Huh? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Look at the takeovers. Long Branch, Chicago, Detroit. Take your pick. Which one do you want to go to? Teen takeover here, teen takeover there. Seems to be all of the same people. Baby mama culture. Not us this time. Not me. Was your kid out there? My kid wasn't out there. We just went to graduation. Our kids. Anton, your kid wasn't out there either. But what do you think? And then here's a caveat. They come to me. Anton Daniels, I love your stuff. I love it. Let me tell you something. These takeovers. Like, yeah, man, these takeovers is crazy, bro. I just did a report. I watch all your videos. You're right. You're right about everything. What is it? Then this how they test me. So what do you think about the Chicago mayor? I don't think he knows what he's doing either. And he's making everything about race. It's all about race. We're in this together. He let all of these illegals, he gave away all the money, and I'll be watching. I'm watching. We love you. Me, my mom. Can I take a picture for mom? Hey, this is it. Oh, thank you for standing up for the Americans. Thank you for standing up for America. Yep, I feel you. All right, big dog. I'm telling you, bro. Man, look, man. If I tell you what I see on a daily basis, you'd be like, Anton, you lying. No, man, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Why don't we keep on focusing so much on race? Everything is race. Because, I mean, if we're going to focus on race, everything isn't about race. Sometimes it's about character. You say it all the time. You mess with people based off of the character. I agree. Okay, George. Gotcha. Oh, man. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to my snow hares and my snow bunnies. Rashawn says, did you hear the audio of the federal judge having relations in the chambers? I can't listen. I did a story on it, but I didn't want to hear the audio itself, bro. Jay Hunter Lee says she's wearing Jason Voorhees' outfit. Roscoe P says, what if I hit you? Respectfully, ma'am, if you hit me, we're going to be moving some furniture. The Way report in the building says, who responsible for accelerating black fatigue? Anton? No. The culture is responsible for being fatiguing, for being the fatigue. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't start putting it on me. All I do is report the news. Latrell says, we're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore. That's a fact. Chris Cunningham says, do you like the Aston Martin Vantage S? Yes, I do. I would just be careful about buying them if you don't really, really love the car. If you're buying the car, also paying attention to the money aspect of it, know that it's going to be devalued. You know what I'm saying? Like the drop off of it is it's going to be crazy. Because those cars, they just never hold their value. They beautiful, they awesome. They one of the most beautiful cars ever. But they just don't hold their value. You know what I'm saying? I love them though. I really do love them. All right, y'all. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Have you been to Philly before, Anton? No. But I sent my girl to Philly the other day, about a few minutes outside of Philly. Let's talk about rent. Talk about some rent because they whining about rent over there in San Francisco. I thought that rent in San Francisco was always too high.
Okay, a new milestone making it harder to make it in the Bay, especially in San Francisco, where rent is at an all-time high. I want to bring in our business and tech reporter, Scott Budman. Big jump because especially after COVID, it was really low, the rent.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the city is better, things are greater, and the rent is higher.
It's so true, Jessica. You know, the city has been pricey for a while, post-COVID, as you say, but we reached a new level today. San Francisco now giving New York a run for its money when it comes to rent. The San Francisco AI boom hitting renters harder than ever in their wallets.
If you're going to San Francisco, don't worry about flowers in your hair. Just make sure you have a lot of money. The average rent here, now $4,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment.
All right. Usually I say people need to get themselves together and it's lifestyle choices. What do you get in San Francisco for $4,000 a month for a one bedroom? Just curious, because whenever you paid higher rent, usually it came with some other intangible benefit. I'll give you an example. New York's rent has always been too high for my entire life. When New York was trash, when New York was good, during the Wall Street Money Never Sleeps era, the movies, all of this stuff, Home Alone era, whatever, all of that. New York rent has always, ever since I was born, we've always considered let me not say New York, Manhattan. All right. Manhattan rent has always been high, but Manhattan was always supposed to be marketed to people that worked on Wall Street and hedge fund managers and people that was getting the bag, right? And so when you went to New York, the intangible benefit was that everything was right there at your fingertips, and New York never sleeps. Money never sleeps. The way that they marketed New York to us in my lifetime was, if you go to New York, you can get a bag. It's going to cost you in order to be there. But if you can survive New York, you're going to get rich, right? If you're moving to New York, chances are you're moving to New York for a big job, big boy job. Yeah, you're going to pay the rent, but you're also going to be able to reduce your costs when it came to not having a car. And then you was going to be living a certain type of lifestyle. So you're going to trade in the fact that you're staying here for the idea that you're not really going to be in a house. You're going to be working, you're going to be hustling, you're going to be going to get it, right? And so that's how they marketed it to us. Whether it was true or not, depends on your lifestyle, depends on whatever it is that you got going on. But my point is that they were selling you on an intangible benefit. You got the subway. It's 8 million people here. You can network your way up to the top. You're going to be working at Wall Street. You're going to be getting the bag. You're going to be taking care of business. And if you want to be a big dog, then you come and live in Manhattan. Manhattan is that's where when you get some money, you live in Manhattan. I was looking at one of my favorite movies. It's called Family Man, right? And in Family Man, the people that didn't have money, or not even people that didn't have money, people that lived regular middle-class lifestyles, they lived outside of the cities. And the people that was living a certain type of lifestyle, fast cars, fast life, all of this other type of stuff, you lived in the city. And so big boy jobs, all of them, you go into the city. And if you was really getting it, then you lived in the city. You got the biggest apartment. And Nicolas Cage says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I have the most square footage inside of this building," right? You had the doorman. I remember I used to watch this movie called Cruel Intentions. And it was the first movie with Ryan Phillippe and the other chick, right? It was a lot of people. And I was obsessed with that whole lifestyle. I was like, dang, they over there in New York, they rich, and they driving around, and they got daddy's car, and they got all of this money, and oh my God, and they talk really snobby, all of this stuff, right? And we're going down to Manhattan to do that in my father's apartment and all of this, right? So I used to watch Cruel Intentions, and so, you know, as a younger person growing up, the movies kind of colored your mentality or your psyche for what you could expect when you went to New York. You know what I'm saying? Like New York was like, yo, this is New York. This is New York. This is crazy. And so the tangible benefit that came along with being in Reese Witherspoon, shout out to Reese Witherspoon. The tangible benefit of living in New York was just a lifestyle. This is a different type of lifestyle. You got to be a different type of person and have a different type of money in order to get to New York. You know what I'm saying? New York, New York, New York. Same thing with Miami, right? Never really was obsessed with Miami because Miami wasn't really marketed outside of like the Scarface movies. Miami, once you got older, right? And once you start hitting the internet, and this is when social media really blew up Miami as far as the culture, right? The culture of what we see today. Miami was welcome to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Girls everywhere. They were supposed to have the baddest chicks. A Chicago 9 is a Miami 6. We didn't know they all had BBLs and fake tits and fake breasts and lip injections that, you know, didn't really make them what they was because a lot of chicks that moved down there was just changing. And so it's really overrated if you really go down there. But the weather is phenomenal, right? Welcome to Miami. And if you went out to Los Angeles, right? Hollywood, we're going to be an actor. We may be a struggling actor. And really, they didn't know that you was just going to be ending up on a casting couch so that you can try to meet to my man later, Harvey Weinstein later. But, oh my God, I'm going to be an actor. But he was going out there to do coke. He was going out there to do coke. He was going to Los Angeles to party and do coke and hopefully get chosen by somebody that was in the industry so that you can be on a casting couch. You know what I'm saying? But the lifestyle was, LA, the lifestyle's crazy. Now, I say all of that to come back to my original conversation. What do you get for $4,000 a month for a one-bedroom on average in San Francisco? What are y'all chasing in San Francisco outside of boy butt? Because the only thing I really know my San Francisco for is two things. Houses that's on a slope that if you walk in, it's gonna get you some extra calories to get up it, and homosexuality. That's the only thing I know, and high prices. Now, the one caveat is that over in the Bay, they have a lot of high-tech jobs, but I don't even know if that's really a thing for. So over in San Francisco, what are you getting? What are they marketing in San Francisco? I know it used to be a lot of druggies, a lot of homeless people. They was talking about how you needed to clean up the streets and all of this stuff. What are you getting in San Francisco that is a tangible benefit that you can sell from a lifestyle perspective? And why are y'all all moving to San Francisco? Why are y'all moving to San Francisco? No, not Larry June. Larry June be over in the LA area, in the Anaheim area, in the Newport Beach area. Now, I get Newport Beach. Newport Beach is slapping. Newport Beach is a vibe. You just walk down Newport Beach, and it's just like, oh, man, this is crazy. There's some parts over in California that will ruin your life. It'll ruin your perspective on life. It's either going to motivate you or it's going to throw you in a tailspin of what it is that you can't have. Let me not even say that. There are parts of the country that will ruin your life. Don't even go unless you're looking to have a change in perspective of what life is supposed to be like. I've been places in my lifetime, and I said, and honest to God, this was the motivation. I've been to places in my lifetime 15 years ago. And the first thing that I thought to myself is, I got to get rich. I have to get rich. I've seen people driving in cars, and I said, I don't got no choice, bro. I have to get rich. I have to get rich. So you can go there, and then sometimes you'll be like, man, they living crazy out here. Man, I remember the first time I went out to LA, I went to Los Angeles, and I started going out to like Calabasas, and I was driving up them big old hills and stuff like that, and you see them houses, and they say, oh man, that's a $20 million house. I said, so I gotta get rich. I gotta get rich. Real talk. I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to. I can't live a regular life. I can't do it. I don't want to. Going to New York and being in Manhattan and I gotta get rich, bro. I used to tell my homeboy Julian, I said, the first thing that I'm gonna buy when I get my money, we was working in the plant. I said, the first thing we used to imitate the big timers. And we would say, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna show that Bentley. We're gonna show that Bentley. And guess what the first thing I got when I first got some money? I'll show that Bentley. Way back in the day. The first thing I bought, telling you, man, y'all got to be careful how you talk because you can manifest it. You can literally manifest success. You have to be very, 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 very careful what you say, how you talk, what you do, because you can manifest success in a crazy way. I don't even know if I got any pictures of that on my phone. Y'all done seen the pictures before. Y'all done been here around. Y'all ain't new to the game. Y'all know what's happening. You know what's up. First thing I did was I went and bought me a Bentley. Show that Bentley. $4,000 a month is insane.
That's like 3 mortgage payments for certain people.
Well, not around here, but the spread between rent in San Francisco and San Jose has never been wider.
San Francisco isn't just expensive, it's like a clear national outlier right now.
Bay Area rent tracker Zumper says it's all about the SFAI boom. Companies like OpenAI and Anthropic hiring and paying big salaries.
And that's brought thousands of high-wage workers into a city with very little new housing supply, as we know. And rents have really been feeling the upward pressure.
But if you're not in AI,
it's very hard to keep up with it. You know, everything's skyrocket high. I don't know how a lot of people are even surviving.
Let me say this. If you get a big boy job and you start making money, please, y'all, please, for the love of God, do not change your lifestyle as soon as you start making money. You got to make sure that you still was really making money. The first time that I made a bag, I was so scared to spend it because I was so used to be, you know what I'm saying? I was coming back from being broke. I was so scared to spend it. I was like, let me just sit down for a minute and make sure that this is really real. That ain't nobody going to come back and get it and take it from me. Real talk. Like, I was like, man, I'm not changing nothing. For the next 7 to 10 years, I'm chilling. I'm just going to stack. I'm going to invest. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on doing all of that because it was just like, yo, man, you think I'm about to bust out and go and get this expensive apartment? Yeah, okay. I'm chilling. I was like, man, I'm going to just sit down for a second, bro.
Jose Campos is surviving by teaming up.
Both people living in the household have to work. Sometimes all 3 people in the household, right? I mean, my rent is $3,700.
All 3 people? See, now that's something I refuse to do. I refuse to be in a position where I'm depending on somebody else to give me their half in order for us to survive. I would rather lower my lifestyle. I'd rather move. I'd rather go to a place that I can afford. I know some of y'all say, Anton, both people have to work in the house. That's what they was trying to convince me on after hours. Both people need to work in order for you to survive. I said, nope. I'm not doing that. I'm never going to be in a position where I'm dependent on another person in order for us to survive. Hey, did you get paid today? Did you make sure that your check direct deposit into my account today? No. I need your half because I got to pay rent. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'd rather lower my lifestyle or I'd rather go and make more money.
Right now.
Yeah, it's survival at this point.
Yeah, we talked about the spread between rents in San Francisco and San Jose. San Jose in the South Bay has remained steady over the last year, whereas San Francisco is up about 20 or 25%. There's more inventory in San Jose. Some complexes even saying they're cutting rent back just a little bit as parts of the city slow down.
Okay, San Francisco suddenly so high. What's going to happen now? Because we keep talking about this AI invasion.
Yes, the AI companies are here. They're hiring. They're paying big salaries, but I don't think we've seen the peak. We talk about Anthropic and OpenAI, both very close to going public, which turns the stock options into money, actual liquid money. And so you're seeing a lot of people right now who may be living in apartments who are about to get a whole lot wealthier and can maybe afford some of those homes. Some of the people that are in
buying some real estate, yeah.
Yes, and
yeah, these are startups, and when they go public, just like Facebook, just like Google, just like every other company, and you'll see more startups that pop up eventually. When they go public, ultimately, that's how you get really rich, is working at it. But a lot of times they work at these startups and they don't make any money. So I don't know. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I can't wait to live stream with y'all tonight. I did a live stream previously where I broke down the upcoming IPOs. Tonight's IPO, my job is to convince you to think differently about the upcoming IPOs and to move a little bit more cautiously. All right. We're going to do it between 8:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to get to it. We got to have an uncomfortable conversation. All right. Anton, I can't trick with Ruby Roses one time. Isn't Ruby Rose like a jump off? Anton, what are some of the cities that you would avoid? It's the only two cities that I can think of that I would avoid personally right now, and that's Portland and Seattle. It's Portland and Seattle. The only two cities that I would avoid right now is Portland and Seattle. I think that those two cities are, unless you are gay, unless you are trans, unless you are a part of the LGBTQ movement and you love hanging with liberals and people that love demon worshiping and all of that other type of stuff, then I definitely would stay away from Portland and Seattle. I think that Seattle, that they have such bad leadership that they're going to run that city into the ground. And every single alphabet community person is running to Seattle. Portland is a liberal hellhole also, amongst the worst places that I've ever visited. I think that Minneapolis is I will stay away from Minneapolis. I visited Minneapolis before. I'm trying to think of another city. What are some of the other cities that I would say? I think that all of the opportunity is in the Midwest. I do. I think that Gary is going to make a comeback. Gary, Indiana is going to make a comeback. I think multiple places inside of Indiana is going to make a comeback. I think Wisconsin is going to do really well. Everywhere in Detroit going to do well. I think Cleveland and that area is going to do really well. Chicago's taxes are too high and their leadership is still questionable. And anywhere around the Chicago area, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think that even when you go to a place and you say, well, these areas are going to be popping and these areas are going to be getting it. When you look at the best place in that area, I don't think that that's where you want to invest in. So I'll give you an example. I like Tennessee. I'm really, really eyeing Memphis. I'm not going to make no recommendations on it until I go down there and visit myself. But the one thing that I do know that you don't want to invest in is Nashville. Nashville is already oversaturated. Tennessee is awesome. Nashville is good if you already live there, but I wouldn't necessarily try to move to Nashville because I think that Nashville is already oversaturated with a bunch of people that left from Los Angeles, and a bunch of Republicans that tried to flee there and open up their companies there. Angie says, comeback, when was Gary ever on? Gary was running up a bag. What y'all don't understand is that these small steel towns were very, very prosperous. Very, 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 very prosperous. I love Pittsburgh. I love all of that. I love all of that. I think that Michigan is going to be one of the most important, safest places, Great Lakes. And if we get a Republican governor, which I think that we are going to get in this next term, Michigan is going to blow up, bro. Michigan is it. That's where it's at. That's where all of the money is right now. And what really gave me the insight to start paying attention to Memphis was when their mayor actually was cool with the National Guard coming in order to try to make it safer. That's the problem. People say Midwest winters are too brutal. I agree. For a lot of people, it's going to be a drawback. It's something that's going to be a drawback. You're talking to me from an investor's perspective. I'm looking at this from the lens of a person that's saying, where will my money go furthest, and where can I make a bunch of money at the same time? That's what I'm looking at it as. Now, it's always going to be drawback. If you move to New York, right? You got Wall Street, but New York winters are way, way more brutal than Michigan winters. New York winters are way more brutal, but you don't hear that because people are only looking at it from the benefits and not from the drawbacks. You go down to Miami, hurricane season is brutal. You know what I'm saying? Up to November. But once you get past November all the way through May, you popping. You good. So everywhere you go, you're going to have a drawback. I don't think that there is any one perfect place in the U.S. where you're not going to have to consider living expenses, lifestyle, taxes, winters, hurricanes, fires, all of that stuff. Minnesota got the worst winters ever. You're going to have to figure out what the trade-off is. Do you want to let them take all of your money in taxes in order for you to have better weather? You know what I'm saying? I think that Boston is a great place to live. Boston has a phenomenal public transportation system. It's expensive, though. It's expensive. Yes, New York winters are worse. New York winters are worse. Absolutely are worse. I stayed here this winter, though, for the most part. Marie, I stayed here this winter for the most part. I did dip out and I went to some places. I went to, y'all seen me, I was in La Jolla and LA, and went down to Miami a couple times. Vegas is cold in the wintertime, so don't think that Vegas is not cold in the winter. But yeah, man, everywhere. Anton, what are your thoughts on Los Angeles? Don't move there. Dirty city, great weather. Everything else is bad. Everything else in Los Angeles is bad. Don't move to Los Angeles. There's other places inside of California. California is a big state. It's a massive state. There's other places inside of California that you can go to. Don't move to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the worst city that you can move to, in my opinion. One of the worst cities that you can move to inside of California. One of them. Not the, but one of the worst. South Carolina does not have the best weather year round. Hawaii and San Diego does. As far as year round. So, All right, y'all. Got videos to do. Got a Patreon live stream to prepare for tonight. And we in there. New Jersey's taxes is insane. And they got bad weather too. Rasan says 300 square feet would have my kitchenette in the bathroom. Courtney Egger Show says, I claimed it already up, bro. YouTube is going to get your boy rich. Talk that talk then. Talk that talk. Stock Club tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight. Tap into the Patreon. The best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. I'm going to see y'all. Peace.